Yeah, so like, man, I got the massive plan for the homies. Straight up, like I gotta wait for niggas to get rich, man. I say, man, like, you give me a couple numbers, man, we can punch those. If you wanna get your mind right, meet me up on Pound 9. Light it up, the smoke it, know to pass it on the right side. Roll up if you want to, get so high. Roll up if you want to, Pound 9. If you wanna get your mind right, meet me up on Pound 9. Light it up, the smoke it, know to pass it on the right side. Roll up if you want to, get so high. Roll up if you want to, Pound 9.
You wanna toke and roll up this dough. Watch these paper planes go up in smoke. In the back of the club, all you see is fire. My head is in the clouds, I can't get no higher. Used to use bamboo and easy waters, Phillies and Dutches. Now it's raw paper, frontal leaves, ace and crushes. First thing in the morning, in between breakfast and supper. Do every strength and cease to OG bubble. Had a sight for the young lady, never indulged. She admiring in the skills on the way that I roll. Gave her shotguns and I showed her how to blow out some moles. And we was done, you could smell it all in our clothes. Conversation over drinks, shots of Patron. Just getting in my zone, we both feeling stoned. She knew a lemon and she begged me to take her home. Said I could hit it if I showed her how to roll her home.
Wanna get your mind right, meet me up on Pound 9. Light it up, the smoke it, know to pass it on the right side. Roll up if you want to, get so high. Roll up if you want to, Pound 9. Wanna get your mind right, meet me up on Pound 9. Light it up, the smoke it, know to pass it on the right side. Roll up if you want to, get so high. Roll up if you want to, meet me on Pound 9.
You wanna smoke? Well, hit this dough. Pulling in hell, let the exotics hit your throat. Take a few pulls, then pass it, homie. Niggas be steaming, why I smoke my gas by my lonely. I like my bud sticky, real nice and potent. At the wax in the keef, now I'm floating. I hit the bong, bought a rig, now I'm dabbing on them. Tie sticks, gas masks, getting blasted on them. Cyphers with the homies always turn into rituals. Split after split, nice tunes, feeling spiritual. Room full of smoke, looking burnt for the visuals. Eyes low, you could barely see if they visible. Roll up another one, then another one. And when we done, we gonna roll up another one. And another one, and another one. And when we finish, we gonna roll up another one.
You wanna get your mind right, meet me up on Pound 9. Light it up, the smoke it, know to pass it on the right side. Roll up if you want to, get so high. Roll up if you want to, Pound 9. You wanna get your mind right, meet me up on Pound 9. Light it up, the smoke it, know to pass it on the right side. Roll up if you want to, get so high. Roll up if you want to, meet me on Pound 9.
You wanna toke and roll up this dough. Watch these paper planes go up in smoke. In the back of the club, all you see is fire. My head is in the clouds, I can't get no higher. You should use bamboo. And we live. Mic check, let me know if you hear me out there. Can you hear me? Let me know you can hear me out there, you know. Waiting on the good brother Jah to pop up, you know. We're gonna speak on some things that's plaguing our communities and our relationships and within the Black household. Toxicity. All right. So as soon as the brother pop up, we could, you know, hopefully he'll pop up anytime, any moment now. How's everyone doing right there? If you tuning in, press like on the way in. You know, subscribe to any channel that you're watching. You know, whatever you watch it from, you know, subscribe to the channels. Um, we speaking on some things that people not, you know, they hide from. You know, people run from this particular topic. Um, we just want to speak on some things and, you know, get the people to be involved in things of that sort. So if you see the link within the description, you're more than free to come aboard and speak on it, you know. More than welcome. We want to get some people in here and hopefully, you know, get some things going on, man. But in the meantime, between time, you know, I'll tell you a little more about this channel. This is Hip Hop Raised Me, the blog where we celebrate 48 years of the youngest genre of music. We're talking about hip hop, y'all. It's about the knowledge, the culture, and the lifestyle. All right. This is a new segment that we're dealing with called Meeting of the Minds. All right. Meeting of the Minds is where, you know, individuals come up on here and they speak their mind on whatever topic that we're discussing. All right. Today's topic is toxicity. Waiting for my brother to pull up. So once he pull up, things will be a little, we can get more in depth. All right. But in the meantime, I want y'all to listen to some music. All right.
Whether times were good or bad, happy or sad, you was all I had.
First wing got on, Bobby and Rowdy got on, Fresh and Designer got on, and Casanova got on. While I was stuck in the hood trying to write these songs. Now my time is near, though I waited so long. You ain't know, you better get in tune. Had it hard growing up, no silver spoons. Thinking back to my project living room, that's where my dreams had blossomed, began to bloom. I didn't graduate, I got kicked out. I found myself in prison trying to get out. I had the man nail quick and never bitched out. I made it home but didn't take a different route. It's the same shit but different tolling. My nigga can't call it, I might spoil it. Never was too bent if they was supported. Just no karma is a bitch, no good deed go unrewarded.
I see the sun shining across your face. You bring the light of the times that can't be replaced. Whether times were good or bad, happy or sad, you was all I had.
Motherfuckers got my back against the wall again. Still trying to get out the hole, I keep falling in. I swear my mama never told me there'll be days like this. You let her tell her she did. I acted like I never gave a shit. Probably my attitude back in the days was this: mother made you, motherfuck you. So no wonder why I always stayed in trouble. All I keep hearing, your homie leader passing the past. Tell that to them cats that wanna kill my ass. They won't listen. Me saying I see things different. Wasn't talking like that when I was trying to wipe a more resistance. Ain't nobody perfect, but you would think so. Taking things so face value without looking beyond the surface. You a diamond in the rough, never feel worthless. Remember what God blessed, no man cursive. Every man's destiny is to find his purpose.
Shining across your face. You bring the light of the times that can't be replaced. Whether times were good or bad, happy or sad, you was all I had.
And we back. Um, we're gonna get to it. Hold on for a second. You know? And we back with another one. You know, what it do, people? Let's speak on toxicity in relationships. You know, I've been through toxic relationships. I think we all have. You know, so let's speak on it. Let's speak on different things that anybody's welcome to come up on here. If you see any of the descriptions, you can see the link to the StreamYard. You can come up on here and we can speak on, different things about toxicity, the signs to look for, and things of that sort. All right. So I want to I want to get up on here, man. Let's talk about some things, man. Try to get everything right now. You feel me? You know. Shout out to Flatbush Rico. I want to get up on here, man. Talk about some things. Shout out to Flatbush Rico. Flatbush Rico. Shout out to Flatbush Rico. For those who don't know, Brooklyn Day was a major thing that we dealing with, and it was popping, So we're gonna speak on toxicity. I took some notes. All right. So for those of you who don't know what toxicity is, all right, toxicity is the quality of being toxic or poisonous. And it gave an example. The toxicity of drugs depends on its dosage. All right. And then it goes to the second definition: the quality of being very harmful or unpleasant in a pervasive or insidious way. Small example: she went public with allegations at the workplace of toxicity and sexism. All right. So, anyone ever been in a toxic relationship, you can press like right now. Press like on, you know, you can leave comments, you could do whatever. I want to see responses from the people. All right. Now, I'm going to tell you about a toxic relationship I was once in. All right. I was dealing with a young lady many years ago. This is in, you know, during some hard times in my life, very dark times where I was trying to, you know, come up out the streets and become a productive citizen. Well, I was dealing with this young lady, and in the pursuit of me pursuing my dreams, I was in the verge of pursuing my dreams, and the young lady seemed as if she was, encouraging. However, when it came down to actually executing certain things that I needed to do, she would give a she was giving me problems. You know, it made everything about her, and then I was called selfish and things of that sort because at this point I'm trying to do what I need to do for myself. So I was called selfish, and I was constantly, degraded, called names, things of that sort. So, as much as I loved the person, I couldn't stand to be, spoken about in a disrespectful manner. You know. Excuse me, give me a second. And we back. Well, in the mix of me dealing with the young lady, I was, caught up in different things and trying to pursue my dreams and my goals and my aspirations. The young lady, she seemed as if she was supportive. However, every stride that I made, it became a problem. I don't know if it was her own insecurities or not, but you know, maybe I may have played a part in her own insecurities. I always tell someone, if you're dealing with someone that's popular, you know, you don't need to, and you have insecurities, you don't need to deal with an individual that's outgoing, because this is going to cause problems in relationships. So, um, shout out to CEO Jah, whatever you at, bro. You could pop up on the thing, man. You got the link, so holla. You know, um, we definitely want to give people the opportunity to speak on it. So if you are tuning in and you like what the topic is, you can press like. You can even share in the comments, man. No matter where you may be looking from or watching, you can share in the comments. And if you have been through a toxic relationship that you care to share, you're more than welcome. I invite you to come on the platform and we can speak on it. All right. You know, um, No doubt, man. Shout out to my boy Raphael. You know what I'm saying? Gave me a shout out. Keep killing it. I'm gonna definitely keep doing that, bro. You know, I thank you for tuning in. You know, you know, us as men, sometimes we play a major part in toxic relationships. You know, it's just it's not a competition when you're dealing with a relationship. It's never been a competition, and that's what people need to understand. It's not a competition. We are a partnership. You know, there's no I in team. So you know, I understand. You know, sometimes we deal with women that that still have childish mentalities as far as they want to be babied and pampered and things of that sort. Nothing wrong with being pampered, but when it comes out of a habit, when it becomes of an expectancy. When you expect something because you in a relationship with someone. Um, you know, you feel better when you and the individual you're with, y'all are really on the same page. Sometimes people have hidden agendas when they enter relationships. Not even that. Let's say for instance, like we all can agree that when you deal with young ladies, when you growing up, you deal with a young lady. She may all she is looking for is love, protection. She want to be protected. She wants to she want to feel secure within herself. And everyone go through different phases in their lives where insecurities may hinder them from having full growth. And when you have insecurities, you know sometimes we have a tendency of pushing the energy. We push a certain energy that you know it keeps us from growing. We kind of create a burden to our mates with our insecurities. So I just wanted to be able to speak on that. I was sorry you're feeling it seemed like I'm unprepared, but I'm not unprepared. I had a my brother supposed to came up on here and spoke with me, but he's not here at the moment. So let's see if we can get him on here. Hold on. Okay, so we back. Um, I wanted to share with you some different things. Different signs of toxicity. All right, when you're dealing with a toxic relationship. All right. They say toxic relationships are characterized by the lack of trust, controlling behaviors, and frequent lying. Often, one partner is prioritized instead of coming together as a team. While toxic relationships can at times be healed, both partners must be willing to adapt and work on the relationship. 6 signs of toxic relationships. All right. Where become disagreements are not excuses for disrespect. All right. Relationships, that's number one. And let's speak on that. When disagreements are not an excuse for disrespect. You know, prime example. I mean, I may have been toxic towards, some individuals where I felt they disrespected me. So, you know, I disrespected them back. And it's never a tit for tat thing in a relationship. That's where we fail to realize somebody have to be the adult in a situation. You know, 9 times out of 10, it's not always like that. But we could all agree on, you know, things work better when men and women play their natural roles in a relationship. All right. And what I mean by the natural roles, a man must be the provider. He must be a protector. He must be able to lead, you know. And for anyone who feels like any woman that feels like she don't want to be led by her man, then she don't need to be with that man because a man's role is to lead. I understand roles have changed over the years where women we have became way more independent. And in that independency, many of our women, you know, they have become, they become more masculine. And a woman's true essence is being feminine. And being feminine is not necessarily submission, because I notice over the years that many women feel submission is a bad thing when it's actually a good thing, because you're a woman. Once you submit, you are making a man softer, and it's easier for him to submit to your will because you are being feminine, and the natural order of things are, masculine and feminine. No man wants to argue and fight and disagree with his woman all day. If you constantly nitpicking and nagging, that's a recipe for disaster. So that's number one. All right. Number two, relationships shouldn't make you feel unworthy, scared, or less than. Goes goes along what I was just speaking on about having a sense of security. You know, you know, sometimes we have mental trauma, and our mental traumas, you know, trickles into our relationships and causes a bad energy and have a bad energy in the air. And honestly, you know, we put ourselves in these situations because bad communication, you know, not moving as a team. You can't move selfish. I don't care who you are. You can't move selfish in a relationship, because once your partner feels less than or feels unwanted or unloved, you know, you're basically up shit's creek, you know? So that's number two. Excuse me. I'm a little under the weather, a little tired. Number three, you should feel safe to be fully yourself with your partner. You know, you should always feel safe to be yourself when you're dealing with your partner, you know? But it takes a lot of maturity to understand when you're dealing with in certain people. It takes a lot of maturity. If you're not mature enough to be classy, to act classy when it's time to act classy, and there's a time and place to joke, time and place for everything, So I mean, we're not little children no more. So certain things none of us will go for. So the key to toxicity in a relationship is understanding this. We are own individuals. The way you love is how you love. The way you think is how you think. I may not always agree with you, but we could agree to disagree. And there are gonna be times when we're gonna agree. So that's just how life is. But if argument should not be, this should be not even an argument if you listen to what someone is speaking on. When you get into these verbal altercations with your significant other, know what you're talking about. Don't just say, just can't answer just to answer, or give attitude and don't expect attitude not to be thrown back at you, because the energy that you give off is basically what you're going to get back. Then we all can agree on that. So if you tuning in, man, press the like button. Press the like button. Press the like button. So we got 2 loves in place. That's dope. Well, I definitely want to speak on a lot of things as far as this. So we're gonna get to some more topics. We definitely gonna get some more topics. But number 4, your boundaries should be respected. And this is the biggest problem within a Black household. People don't respect each other's boundaries. They don't give each other enough space. They don't even respect someone's position in life. You know what I'm saying to you? So if you don't respect another person's boundaries, then you're toxic. You have to give someone their space. You got to know when to approach a situation. You also have to know how to approach it, because if you don't approach it in the correct way, it's not going to turn out well, And unfortunately, it's just sad, But number 5, you shouldn't feel invisible or that your relationship is suffocating you. I say this: if you're busy doing what if you're busy focusing on you and focus on your goals, you should not, there should never be an argument, because you're busy doing what you're doing. I should be busy doing what I'm doing. And we come to a common ground and we can meet up somewhere down the line, and we have something to talk about, instead of, regular gossip or whatever, so it's real difficult to understand when, that's how life, life kind of does that to you. It gives you, you know, gives you a lot to deal with, So I just want to let y'all know, man, basically when it come down to relationships, you definitely have to respect someone's boundaries, man. Most people don't know how to do that, Most people really don't know how to respect another person's boundaries. And this is where the problem lies, because you don't know how to respect another one's boundaries or respect someone else's space. There's nothing wrong with being yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. You could be yourself, but people have a bad tendency of becoming overbearing on certain things. People have a bad tendency becoming overbearing,
And that's the sad part, you know. That's the sad part about things, you know. Can't be overbearing in your relationships, you know. And number one, you know, I must say this to our sisters out here: you are dealing with men. You're not dealing with children. So understand, your man is not your child. So do you not speak to him as if he's a child? Because if he's a child, then you don't need to deal with him. You know, simple. You know, men aren't into. They're not into certain things. You know, I'm not an insecure man, so I'm not gonna be hounded down your throat by every little thing. You know, I'm just not one of them people. You know, I'm not a jealous individual. So, you know, you could be free. You know, 'cause I'm far from jealous. I'm far from insecure. But if you're insecure and you're a jealous type, hmm, you stress your own self out because you know it doesn't make any sense. You know, to deal with a lot of things that that we deal with. You know, so all right. So number 5, you shouldn't feel invisible or that your relationship is suffocating you. Your relationship is like, you know, it becomes suffocating when you aren't doing anything with yourself. If you're busy, you know, focusing on your goals and or you just handling business, no one wants to be hearing where you at, why you ain't answer your phone, things of that sort, because that's all it is. Like, are we children or are we grown? Like, I didn't get in a relationship to be hounded or having to walk through eggshells, you know. But you know, it's sad. It's sad that you know when you're in relationships, you have to walk on eggshells. Can't even be yourself because 9 times out of 10, you know, people are living in relationships, you know, on the strength of another person's eyes. You can't live your relationship through someone else's eyes. That's impossible. You know, you can't do it. Someone else's eyes, you know, someone else's eyes, you know, it's a recipe for disaster. And I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. Because most 9 times out of 10, people have a bad tendency of giving advice or bad advice to their friends about a relationship. You know, you cannot do that because all you're gonna do is cause problems. You know, so all you're gonna do is cause problems, and that's not cool, man. You know, that's definitely not cool. So I need people to understand, man. You're dealing with when you're in a relationship, you're dealing with a partnership. You know, there shouldn't be no toxic, nothing toxic going on in no relationships. You know, but we stuck in that. You know, there's a lot of mental problems, a lot of mental trauma that people deal with, and you constantly trickle it down to your relationship. You know, like I said, if you're insecure, you should not deal with no one that's outgoing because it's just gonna stress them out. That's what becomes toxic. And you got to realize when you're dealing in a relationship, you're in a relationship with whoever you know, with an adult. You're not in a relationship with a child. You know, so that's my point right there. You know, you're not in a relationship with a child. You're in a relationship with an adult. So the fact that you know the okay, shout out to Tafari. You know, I see, I see it, I see it, I see it. You know, I see it, I see it. But you know, when you deal with relationships, like I said, you're dealing with an adult. You're not dealing with a child. And some people have yet to grow up. You know, some people have yet to grow up. You know, when you can't be selfish in a relationship. Relationships should not be one sided. Once it's one sided, then it's very toxic. You know, so as a man, or even myself, more so myself, like I'm an Aquarius. All right. I'm an Aquarius. So the fact that I'm an Aquarius, I look at life differently. I view life differently as opposed to someone else. Like certain things are kind of simple to me. Some things are kind of difficult to me because I'm just never understanding on certain things. Like certain things I just never understand. However, when it comes down to relationships, you know, I try to, you know, look at it from a different standpoint. You know, I try to be open. You know, you have to be open and open-minded in a relationship. You know, you got to be open to new things. You know, even though they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. However, you know, once you're open-minded and open-hearted, you know, you could get put onto anything. You know, so that's the key to that. You know, when you know, I be seeing a lot of things though. I definitely be seeing a lot of things that takes place out here in this world and things of that sort. So, you know, it's sad sometimes, you know. I get it. I definitely get it, you know. You know, I definitely get it. But you know, when you're dealing with relationships, you have to understand that you are dealing with an adult. You're not dealing with children, you know. Definitely not dealing with children. You know. But we not gonna keep this thing too long. You know. We just want to stick to the topic. Let's get to number 6. A relationships shouldn't be a blame game where you feel guilty all the time. Like you ever been in one of those relationships where the person made you feel guilty? You know, you know, I dealt with a few relationships that was like that. You know, I definitely dealt with a couple of relationships like that in my lifetime. I dealt with, you know, I had a I had a cancer that I once dealt with. She made me feel guilty about every little thing. And my stupid ass called myself being in love. And I wasn't realizing that she was draining my energy. You know, she kept draining and draining my energy. And I never understood like why I feel like this, why I feel like this. You know, it got to the point where she was so toxic. She made me second guess myself every wake of the day. And I'm like, I'm Dream. I'm better than this. I'm better than this. But you know, I was in love. So the things we do for love, you know. So, but that's back in the days. I wouldn't dare go through none of that now. I refuse to. I really do. You know. I would definitely refuse to. So, you know, I mean, anybody is interested speaking on, speaking on their toxic relationship that they may have been involved in, you know, it's we all been through some, we all have been through some, you feel me? So we all have been through some, you know. So we all have been through a toxic relationship or two, so made it, made a most high, see anyone that's going through that, see them through and help them build, I won't be on here too long. I just wanted to chop it up with y'all about toxicity. You know what I'm saying? And I got a question for people. Is toxicity a learned behavior? Is it a learned behavior going passed down through generations? The lack of knowledge, the lack of understanding, the lack of comprehension, the lack, poor communication skills. All of this plays a part, And have anyone ever noticed that you only become toxic once you don't do what the other person wants you to do? But they seem to forget all the other times that you have done something that they asked of you. But it could be this one time. Like, people don't like to hear the word no, or I can't do this right now. Or people just want urgency. Like, okay, I get it. You like things on an urgency level. All right, cool. But patience is a virtue. Patience is the key to everything. Communicating, compromisation, all of this. Also, you got to know how to speak to individuals. You can't speak to an individual as if they're beneath you. If you're a king, you can't treat your lady like she's a peasant. If you're a queen, you can't treat your man as he's a peasant. Like, you set yourself for failure, because no one wants to feel inadequate in a relationship. No one ever wants to feel inadequate. And the fact that people need to understand that we are partners. If you love yourself, you're gonna love yourself. You should be able to love someone else and give them the same respect and admiration. Give them what you asking for. You give them what you expect of yourself. But people don't understand that. So if you tune in there, you can press the like button. Subscribe to HipHopRaisedMeTheBlog.com. We also have a website, www.HipHopRaisedMeTheBlog.com. Twitter, HipHopRaisedMe1. The Invisible Man. The Invisible Man on Facebook, HipHopRaisedMeTheBlog.com on Facebook. We have all of these platforms, and we welcome everyone to be a part of what we have going on. Don't be afraid. Don't feel you got to peek in and out. You don't have to, have to go through none of that. But like I said, I won't be here too long. Things didn't go the way I planned it, but hey, just the start of many. It's the meeting of minds. And I challenge anyone and everyone to come up on this platform. Let's speak our minds. Let's have a meeting of the minds. My name is CEO Dream, and this is Hip Hop Raised Me the Blog, where we celebrate 48 years of the youngest genre music. I'm talking about hip hop, y'all. Talking about the knowledge, the culture, and the lifestyle. Hip Hop Raised Me. Boom. And I'm out.